Hi guys.
Hi.
Hey.
Hello.
What up, people?
Hello, everyone.
How's it going?
Man, what a week.
Yeah,
Aries
it's a week.
season has started.
What season?
Aries
Oh,
season.
air. Oh,
5 planets are in Aries right now.
oh,
In
geez.
case you were wondering why things are the way that they are.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Apparently 5 planets are in Aries. Things are a little chaotic right now,
I would agree.
and I have been feeling it. There
Yep.
has been discourse brewing.
Mm.
How has your week been?
Honestly, it's mostly just been work, 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 work. I'm a working woman. Although my job, it's making me upset. I had to clean up a bunch of mold yesterday.
Yeah,
Felt sick. I was telling you about that.
yeah.
Looking for a second job because you know how things are these days. You can't just have one job. You need to get another one.
You need like
Um,
15.
15 jobs. Yeah, so it's just been like me working and then yeah, honestly. I mean, I got my Switch back,
Oh
which I'm excited
yeah.
about. So I've been playing Animal Crossing, I guess just today because I just got my Switch back yesterday. And yeah. So for the viewers, my Switch was broken, had to send it in. They ended up sending me a new one. So lost all my shit, but you know,
But you got a new free Switch.
I got yeah, I mean it's nice. It's much better condition than like what mine was in because I had mine from like the first drop, like the first release. So it's like in better condition. So it's nice. But yeah, how was your week?
My week certainly was a week. Lots of things happening. I've been very up and down this week. I've had
Mm,
like on Monday I worked from home because I wasn't feeling great. Not physically, like I wasn't feeling sick. I was just like not in a great space mentally. I was feeling really like burnt out.
mm,
So I told my superior that I was if it was okay. I asked her if it was okay if I worked from home that day. And it was such a good day. It was like so wonderful. I was so at ease. It was
oh,
so great. And then I went into work on Tuesday, and that ruined all of my relaxation. So that was great. Um but yeah, I mean work has been a little hectic. I've had some events I've had to like pack up ribbons and certificates for. And today was like a flustercluck because I had these like 2 events I was putting stuff together for, and I had already put together all the stuff for this other event that was like a smaller one, but I didn't pack it up yet. I just kind of like put it to the side and like was
mm,
waiting. Um and so I was trying to get like the stuff together for the other two that were like significantly bigger. And they kept having like confusion with like the people that I needed to like make certificates for and stuff like that. So I kept having to like redo this like Excel spreadsheet. It's called like a gold page, and it's just like a list of everyone getting like um receiving like the ribbons and stuff like that, getting like inducted. Um and I kept having to redo that because they kept adding people, and like think like ranks weren't correct, and like they were adding people, and like it was so frustrating and it was so confusing. Like I had everything organized when I left work yesterday, and then I went in and it was just a mess. And it was a lot. And I kind of got so overwhelmed that I just kind of checked out, and I just kind of sat at my desk at like 3. I kind of clocked out mentally, and I just like sat at my desk and like stared at everything because I was like, I can't, I was like, I cannot function right now. Like I'm so
yeah,
tired. It was a lot. Um, Also, what was I gonna say? There's something else I was gonna say and I completely forgot. Um, it was like important too.
Oh no.
I just like
Reel
remembered
it
all
back
the
in. Reel it back in.
I remembered all the shit that happened today and I got overwhelmed again and then um oh, okay. So when I came in on Tuesday after working from home on Monday, I walked into my office and it was like a fucking tornado went through it. Like my desk was like strewn about, like it was just like everything was everywhere. And I was like, oh my God. Like I was so overwhelmed. I almost had a breakdown. And it was like I just got off from like crazy traffic. Like I was overwhelmed as it is. And I was like, what the fuck? And it was just a lot. And I spent a lot of time putting it all back together, but oh my God, did it set my OCD into a tizzy. Like it really
Oh
set me
my
off. Like
god.
I had like no moment to breathe. So,
Right.
but that was a lot. I mean, I held it together. I almost started crying, but like I didn't. But I held it together and then I took my medication and I tried to do the best I could that day and brave it until I got home. So, but that was just like a lot. I was like, who the fuck did this? Like, what, like,
Yeah.
y- you know, like if you, even if like you need to grab something from someone's desk or put something there, like if you, isn't it like common courtesy that if you have to like take stuff apart, you put it back together? Like, I don't know.
Yes.
Like,
That's
I
so
don't,
fucked, man.
yeah. And I don't think it was like on purpose. Like, I think it was my superior because she had to like, she got this like screen cover for me for some reason, but it doesn't cover like the whole computer screen. It's supposed to dim the light because
And
I
it's better
can't,
for your eyes.
yeah, because it's really bright and sometimes it gets like really grating for my eyes. Like it really gives me a
Yeah.
headache. And for some reason, like I can't turn the brightness down on my computer screens. Like the setting isn't there. Like I've tried and it like
Oh,
won't let me change it.
that's so
So
weird.
I've turned on this like night light setting that makes it like a warmer light so it's a little easier on my eyes and it kind of dims it a little bit. So that was best. That was like that's working. But she got this like screen cover and it's like too short, like it doesn't cover the whole screen so it's just distracting. And like I don't know why she just like got that for me instead of like asking me if that's what I wanted. And I thought when she said screen cover, I thought it was like a one of those like stick-on films that you can put on like your phone and stuff like that. So I was like, oh, that
Yeah.
would probably help. But then that like it's like a when you like hang on the screen, it's very strange. And I just took it off because I'm like, this is distracting.
Yeah, I would imagine it gets in the way.
Yeah, and she only got one. And it's small. Like it doesn't even
Oh,
cover
I
my
mean,
smaller
is it I
monitor.
guess it's the thought that counts,
Yeah,
but
but like I don't know.
huh?
It was kind of a waste of money. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And so I just took it off because it was kind of distracting me and it was throwing me off. But the night light setting was has been helping.
Okay,
Um,
that's good.
and I have like dark mode turn on for a lot of stuff. So,
That's
but it
good
was just
too.
like
That does help a lot.
it does. I'm so used to
Things
dark mode
things are
now.
so much prettier in dark mode too. It's
It
like,
is.
oh, it feels like back on Tumblr. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Because everything
No,
was
I
so like
totally
dark.
get you.
Yeah.
But it's like everything has just been very overwhelming. Um, and it's been a lot. But I mean, luckily, I've been able to get to work earlier, so that's been good.
Ooh, like
I was
what?
having,
Like, is the traffic better?
I mean, kind of like it was great for a bit because people were on spring break, so there wasn't really many
Yes.
people out. But it's been a little chaotic because everyone's back to school now, but I've been able to leave my house earlier. It was more so like a depression thing than like a
Oh,
traffic
okay.
thing, but like I mean the traffic isn't helping. Like I would get to work even earlier than I am now if it weren't for like the extreme traffic for whatever reason.
Right.
Um but
It makes you have to leave earlier, right?
yeah, but I've been able to leave the like at earlier closer to the time that I should.
Because your
Um
mental health is a little bit better at the
yeah,
moment.
it's definitely a touch and go, but like
Yeah.
my troublesome coworker has been making things a little difficult. Like I've just been kind of in like a constant negative loop. and I've been very like restless and like just ugh. I've just been in a bit of a funk. So it's made getting to work at a decent time, at a time that I like, very difficult. Because like previously I used to leave my house at like 8 o'clock, you know? So it's like now, I have a hard time because I don't want to go there because it's just so stressful. And like you know how it is, like when things kind of pile up and you get burnt out and you're like, I really don't want to go anywhere. That's why I stayed home on Monday because I was like, no, I can't do it today. I cannot. So, but yeah, enough about that stuff. That's not what our episode's
Yeah.
about. Our episode is about movies.
The big movies.
Just in
I gotta be a
time,
star, baby.
just in time for the Oscars. Just kidding. The Oscars were like five years ago.
Yeah.
Um
I forgot to watch them
I
because
watched
I
them.
was watch because they were on at the same time The Last of Us, like the last episode
Yeah.
came out. And like I forgot the Oscars were going on and I was watching The Last of Us and I opened Twitter because the episode was kind of like not that great. So I
Oh,
opened Twitter. I wasn't a fan. But I opened Twitter and then I'm like, "Oh wait, the Oscars are going on. Fuck." But also
yeah.
the Oscars kind of fucking suck. Like all award shows are kind of like
Yeah.
dumb as fuck. I think maybe this year they kind of try to make more of an effort. But like
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just all stupid.
Yeah, I mean, I some of the awards I was like, that's exactly how that should have been. And some of them I was like, what the fuck, you know?
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, my background is
That movie's so fucking good.
it's so good. The Banshees of Inisherin. I
Yup.
love it so much. Love the Irish.
Yeah. Also just
Love
like
them.
I don't know, the rhythm of that movie was great.
Yes, I loved how it was like a kind of like a dark comedy, like because
For
there were
sure.
so many points where I was like, oh my God, it was like the funniest shit I've ever seen, and then it was
Yep.
like, oh my God, I was like on the brink of tears,
And a lot
like
of like shocks. Like, oh my
yeah,
God.
and
And
it
you want to see what
almost
happened next.
yeah, and it almost had like a folk tale kind of
Yeah.
energy to it, like
I
a
agree. That's
folklore.
exactly how I felt too.
Yeah, it felt like a parable, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And
God,
and
it was
I,
so good.
it was so I might
Did
have to
it win any
rewatch it.
awards or
No,
no?
it
Yeah,
won
I didn't think it
absolutely
did.
nothing. They weren't okay.
It's
So
because it's too
Barry,
good.
I know, right? Colin Farrell was nominated for Best Actor. Brendan Gleeson and Barry Keoghan were both nominated for Best Supporting Actor. Kerry Condon was nominated for Best Supporting Actress. I believe it was nominated for Best Screenplay. Um, I think it was also nominated for score or music.
The music was pretty good in that too.
Yeah, I
I
loved
was
it.
thinking about it when I listened to, or when I was
And
watching
of
the movie.
course, it was nominated for Best Picture. And I think
But listen,
the
they were up
director,
against some of the best
oh
movies
yeah, they were up against
too.
Everything Everywhere All at Once, which
And
sweeped.
weren't they up against The Whale as well? That was a very good
Oh,
movie.
was that a good movie? I heard that
Did,
I heard the opposite.
well, okay. Parts of it were good. Parts of it were like, honestly, I was drunk when I watched it.
Oh, well, yeah.
So my opinion's kind of, I mean, it made me cry,
Honestly,
but also some
yeah.
things I was like, this is a little bit ridiculous.
Yeah, I feel like everything I've heard about that movie, like I was gonna watch it. This year, I felt like the Best Picture nominees, like there were a lot of good like Best Picture nominees. So I actually wanted to watch a few of them.
Yeah.
I'd already seen Everything Everywhere All at Once. I saw that in the theaters. Um,
They put it back in the
so
theaters.
good.
That's when I rewatched it in the theaters. But
Yeah.
I've watched that movie so many fucking times
It's
at this point.
so
It is, and
good.
it makes me cry every time.
Yes, it made me cry like three times. And then I watched Banshees of Inisherin because they put it on HBO Max and I was like,
Yep,
"Oh, let me tune
that's
in."
where I watched it too. But they were showing it
Um,
at my theater a few times,
you
and I
see, like
wish I saw it in the theater.
my local place, they were showing The Whale at my local place, but I
Yeah,
just didn't really have like any interest in seeing it because I saw so many like negative things about
yeah.
it and
I
I
mean,
was like,
I feel like you might like it, like when you, but it's like I said, like ridiculous at some points, and also it's like he's also wearing a prosthetic to appear
yeah.
to be an obese person, and like maybe I'm
And I
not
even
the
think
person to comment on weight,
I
but it's
think
just like
like I
I
also
don't
think he's
know.
like partially CGI'd.
Oh, yep.
And I
His
don't know, I
acting was
just
really great. It was a good
yeah.
comeback for
Brendan
Brendan.
Fraser is a good actor. I just
Yeah.
wish his like comeback was with something very different
Yeah, but this
because I
I felt
just
like was very emotional and it had a lot of
yeah.
like for acting wise, like it was a very like deep. role.
Yeah. See, I've just heard that like it's really it was a very controversial
Yeah,
film.
yeah, let's just say that.
And
Because now that
I
I
don't
think about
think
it, I'm like, when I was watching that movie,
yeah.
I'm like, is this really happening? Like,
Yeah, I just everything I heard about that movie, like I was gonna check it out because I wanted to obviously I love
yeah.
Brendan Fraser. And I
And
was
Sadie
like,
Sink is also in it.
yeah. And I just like everything I've seen was like, yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna check that out. What else was nominated for Best Picture? Oh, All Quiet on the Western Front,
I
which
didn't
was
watch that one.
winning too many awards in the beginning.
Was it good or have you
I
seen it?
haven't seen it. It's on Netflix. I saved it though. After it was
Oh,
after
what
the
is it about?
Oscars. It's a war movie.
Oh, I'm not watching that shit.
Yeah, it's
I'm not watching that shit.
The Oscars love war movies.
And it's like, shut up already. They've made them all.
Yeah. Like how
I
many
mean,
times are we
okay,
gonna make a I think it's
sometimes I do like
where
watching
does
war movies because they can be interesting, but they
War
have
Horse was
movies like
good.
which one?
War Horse?
I haven't seen that one. Honestly, I don't watch a lot of them, but like sometimes some will like strike me as like, oh, let me
I'm trying to
watch
think the
that.
one oh, which ones have I seen? I saw Saving Private Ryan
I
once.
only watched part of that, and I don't know. I don't know
Was
how to
that
feel
the
about
one that
it.
I watched?
There's
Yeah, I
like a
think it
big
was
fight scene in that one.
I don't remember.
It's really
But I've
crazy.
seen a couple. But oh my God. Yeah, that's right. All the Hunger Games movies are back on Netflix.
Ooh. I've
I was
actually
wa
haven't watched them all. I think I've only seen the
I
first one.
watched I watched The Hunger Games, Catching Fire, and I think the first part of Mockingjay, but I never watched the second part. So I think I
Mm.
might do a rewatch. But it was funny on St. Patrick's Day, I saw Inhaler
Yes.
and I got crossfaded.
Yep. I mean,
I pre-gamed because of course
there's no better place to be
it's St. Patty's
crossfaded
Day in New York seeing
seeing an
Inhaler.
Irish band. Like,
I
come on.
smoked a blunt
You have to. You gotta
and
get some greens there.
I had to get my greens, my five a day. And we went in and I had two Guinnesses, 2 pints. And yeah, it was a grand old time. And so I
Question for
was,
you.
yeah.
I mean, this isn't really off topic. When you drink Guinness specifically, does it make you bloat? Because I become a fucking
It
balloon.
makes me feel absolutely fucking horrible. Like
Yeah,
it
I can't drink beer anymore. It literally makes me
no.
bloat too much,
See,
especially
the
Guinness, and
thing
I
is
love
like
Guinness the most.
it is really good. But I don't drink it all that often.
Hmm.
Um, I did notice though that like when I was in Dublin, it didn't make me bloat as much.
Maybe it is just the American
It might be because
import
the one
or
that the one that I had on Friday was from a can, and oh my God, that fucked me
that
up
no,
so
yup,
bad.
yup. Those are the ones that fuck me up. The
There is
cans.
definitely a
Yeah.
difference when it's like pulled
From the
from a
tap.
tap.
Yeah. No, tap beer
It's
is much better, but for some reason all beer kind of fucks me up.
yeah, well,
Sorry,
it's
I'm a
yeah.
liquor girl. What can I
No,
say?
I am too. I mean, my
Yeah.
drink of choice is a cosmopolitan.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's St. Patty's Day. Of course, I'm gonna have a Guinness.
Of
What am I gonna
course.
go
Of
to the
course.
fucking
I
bar?
regret not having a Guinness on St. Patty's Day.
See, I never like I was like, well, this is my first it was my first time doing actually doing something for Patty's Day. So I was like, okay, I'll have one. I had two actually. And which was the most amount of Guinness I've ever had in a row. I don't know why I had two. But then I went back to my hotel and I was crossfaded, so I ordered tacos and I watched Catching Fire while having like birria tacos,
Slay.
which was not the choice when
Really?
you've had beer. It
I
was
feel like
good.
tacos are the best.
Well, it
Like
was
Mexican
good.
food is the best when you're drunk.
Well, it tasted really good, but
But
the way
then,
it made me feel later was not so
yeah.
great because the onions and the
Oh,
beer and
yeah.
I was fighting for my life. But I felt a lot better than I thought I would the next day. So
Okay.
I didn't feel hungover or anything. I was
Good.
just my feet just were sore.
That happens.
Um, yeah, because I was wearing like boots or anything. I wasn't like queuing or anything. We were in like a balcony
You
seat,
look so
which
cute though. Were
thank
you wearing the Betsy
you.
Johnson
I
dress?
was.
Yeah.
I was wearing my Betsy Johnson slip dress and I was wearing this inhaler shirt that I have. It's like the red one,
Yeah.
the one that I got for you and me
Yeah, I
when I
love
saw
that
them at
shirt.
Warsaw. It's so funny because the girls, so I went with a friend of mine and their friend, and
Yeah.
the girls next to us, they were like we were talking with them, they were so nice. Also, I know I give like Inhaler fans a lot of flack because a lot of them are like a little, cuckoo. But the further back you get in the queue and the further away you get from the
The
pit,
chiller they
it gets
get.
so normal.
Yep.
Like they get so
It's
normal.
like it like radiates. You know what
Yeah,
I
like
mean? But so like the
the
pit
girls near us
is
on either
bad.
side, like the girls to my right were so fun, and then the girls to the left of my friend's friend were so cool. Like we were all just having a great time, and it was so
Mm.
great, and it was so much better, and like I could enjoy the actual show more, like sitting in a balcony seat. And like we weren't like my friend and their friend got into the line, I think at like 4 or 5. That's what we planned for, just like a little bit. Because I thought for some reason I thought the queue was gonna be like um at like 6 or something, but it was at 7. I don't know why I thought it was gonna be at 6, but I got there around 6. Um and we weren't waiting in line for too long. They actually let us in early, which was
Ooh.
cool. And so we were worried that we weren't going to get a good spot, but when we walked up to the balcony, I guess everyone in front of us, or most of everyone in front of us, was in the pit. So it was like all empty on the first balcony, which was where we were. And it was a general admission seating. So we managed to get like near the center, front seats. Like it was so fun. And the girls next to us, on the left, they were actually at um one of Inhaler's like Brooklyn shows that I was at.
Oh,
They're like, "Oh yeah, we
cool.
saw them at Warsaw," and I was like, "I was there too." And they
I
were like,
feel like the
"Oh,
same kind of groups go to all the New York
yeah,
like shows.
yeah." They were really cool though, and yeah, so that was cool. Little off topic tangent there. I don't even remember what we were talking about. Oh, I was looking up All Quiet on the Western Front because I have it saved. Because I was like, well, I'll save it, you know.
Yeah.
I want to see like what. Oh, here it is. Okay. Oh, it's just the description is just, oh, it's about World War One.
Oh,
If it's not about World War Two, it's about World War One. I mean, come on.
come on. All the wars.
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
I
and then
couldn't
there
care
was
less about war movies.
yeah. And then there was the I think it was like Best Original Song or something went to this, I want to say Bollywood film, RRR,
Oh.
which I heard was really good and I saved it. It's on Netflix.
Oh, I might watch that. Oh,
Yeah.
actually, no, I've heard of that movie. I've
Yeah,
heard of
I
that
heard a
movie.
lot of good things. It's like really fun and campy and really
Yeah.
like a spectacle. Like, oh, and
I always see that.
Pinocchio.
Oh, Pinocchio one stuff.
Yeah, the Guillermo del Toro Pinocchio won best
Is that
animation.
the one that was trending for like the
No,
voice?
that's the Disney one.
Oh,
No,
okay,
the
I'm
Guillermo
like,
del Toro one is the cool one.
I haven't seen it. Have you?
No, but I've seen like pictures of it. It's the one where like Pinocchio is like all wood and like has like the wooden like,
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, it's like
The
claymation
other,
and animation and stuff like that.
yeah. I just
But
want to be on my own. Is that the cool?
Father. That's the Disney one, I think.
They're all the same. No, I think
Yeah.
it's the same.
No, it's not. I was just looking at it.
Okay.
But the Guillermo del Toro one is on Netflix. A lot of them are on Netflix.
Oh, what the hell? I need to get back on
Yeah.
Netflix. I feel like I just like don't go on Netflix ever.
Hmm.
So I need to
Well,
find
they added a
myself back
bunch
on there.
of the Oscar films on
Yeah, I feel
there.
like them and HBO Max had a lot of them. Oh, did you watch Triangle of Sadness?
No, I didn't even
It's on
know that that was
Hulu.
nominated. It's on Hulu.
Well,
I'll
I
have
don't
to
know if it
watch
was
that.
nominated for
It
anything.
was.
It was okay.
Yeah, I was
But
like, it was like the first time I ever heard of it.
I just watched it the other day. Well, a lot of people were asking to watch it at my theater because they brought it back for people to watch. And I
Hmm.
was like, that's intriguing, the name. And then one of my friends was like, "Oh, you should really watch it. It's on Hulu." And I'm like, "Okay, let me put it on." So I put it on. I watched it the other night and it's so good.
Yeah, I heard a lot of good things.
It's a lot about like kind of like socialism, capitalism,
Ah,
communism, kind but it's also like about like rich people
yeah.
and like lower class, like it's about classism basically.
Hmm.
But like it's a lot of things, but it's like I really recommend. I feel like you would like it because it's a comedy,
Yeah,
but it's dark.
I like them like that.
Yup. So yeah. I
That I've
recommend.
also I didn't know that that was on Hulu. I wanted to
Yeah,
watch
it's on
that.
Hulu. I might rewatch it tonight. Well, it's a heavy movie, so maybe I need some time in between. The ending was
Yeah.
kind of like, whoa.
I did, however, watch I've been trying to branch out and watch more movies lately. And I
Nice.
watched this like 60s French movie the other day. It's called Belle de Jour, and it's about like this lady who's married to this doctor, and she's like this high society lady. But she has these like kind of like kinky fantasies about
Oh,
her like husband and stuff like that. So she has a lot of like kinky fantasies, like being what's the word? Being like degraded and stuff like that,
okay.
which first of all like is such an interesting thing to see from like a 60s movie, because the 60s movies
Yeah.
that I'm familiar with are like the American ones, and by then I believe they had that, what was the name of that code? There was like a specific code that made movies really squeaky clean. Like there was very little you could get away with that they implemented, I think after the 20s or the 30s or something. So
Yeah.
like all the movies from like the 40s through the 50s are like really squeaky clean and like,
Yeah. But I feel like French movies back then were more known for
yeah,
being more like,
pushing the envelope.
yeah, exactly.
So like that was like my first real experience with like a 60s foreign movie. So I was like, oh, this is like, it was very like um considering it's like it was very like graphic for a 60s. I was like, whoa, like
Oh.
I was taken aback.
You're like, what is going on
I was like,
here?
this is not at all what I thought it was gonna be. Like,
Yeah.
but and so I kind of needed to get over that like shock at first, but it was a pretty interesting film. Like I did like it. Um and
But did you
basically,
it's one of those ones you have to think about a lot though. You're like, hmm.
yeah, like you do have to get used to it as you watch it, because it is not something I'm at all like accustomed to. I'm not accustomed to a 60s movie being so vulgar and like in
Oh
your
my
face.
God.
But I mean, it was so great, and I really liked it. And basically, so she's like a high society lady, and she ends up having a double life by becoming a like a prostitute. She becomes this like what's the word?
Like dominatrix?
No,
Like the opposite of that?
yeah, but she ends up joining this like, she goes to this lady and she starts working for the lady, and she comes up with this like fake name, which is Belle de Jour. And so she becomes like a call girl, basically,
Okay.
like a high society call girl. And she does it like at a certain time of day, and like she's always back before her husband gets back, and it's to kind of like unload on these like fantasies and stuff like that.
Oh, because
But
she can't do it with her husband, so she's
yeah,
like,
so it's
"Oh,
like
let me
for
go be
some
a call
reason,
girl and
yeah,
be
like
a little
I'm trying to,
kooky."
it's really like deep too, because it does have like moments of like flashback. Like you have moments of like watching
Oh.
her like dreams, and then you also have moments of like flashbacks to her childhood. And it really
Is there
it
like
touches on,
trauma in there that maybe
yes, it
like
it
it's so it
like,
equals to why she wants
yeah,
to
it pretty
be
explicitly touches on like childhood sexual abuse and like being sexualized as a child, because she's like the very pretty girl. She's got very like light golden hair. And so it's like it touches on her being like sexualized and like preyed on by older men,
right?
and like how that kind of transfers into her fantasies. It was very interesting. And
That's kind of
very,
real.
yeah, it was like really blatant for a 60s
Yeah.
film.
I might have
And
to check that one out
yeah,
because it
it's on
sounds
HBO
interesting.
Max.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'll probably watch it later.
It's pretty cool. And so she's this call girl, and then she ends up meeting some guy, and feelings get involved, and things ensue, and it's really interesting. Um I enjoyed it. I mean, it wasn't like, obviously it wasn't the greatest movie I've ever seen. It was like a little
It's an
campy.
interesting watch.
Yeah, it was a little campy at times because it is the 60s.
Yeah.
But I thought it was very interesting, and it was shot very well, I believe. And it really made you think. Like it was a thinker.
Ooh, we love a
And
thinker.
it was like it really showed like how it you really like you could be talking to some high society guy and like you really don't know what they do behind closed doors because it would like she would have customers of
True.
all sorts of like ranks, and it was very interesting, and they all had their own quirks and they all had their own preferences and stuff like that, and yeah, it was really interesting. um but that's like what I like about HBO Max is that they have that like TCM um section that's like all old films and like foreign films,
Yeah, they
and
have such a wide range on there.
they do. And I've saved so many things on there, like,
Yeah. Are they
and
still getting rid of HBO Max or is that like halted at the
I don't
moment?
think,
Because it was supposed to happen around this time. So I'm
yeah,
like,
I don't, I feel like if they, I don't think they were ever gonna get rid of it.
they
I
were gonna
just,
merge it with something else, but it was
yeah,
gonna be a whole different service, so you would have to start
yeah.
paying for that instead.
So I
And
don't know. It
but
hasn't happened.
I think they're like pushing it down because they realize that people actually like HBO Max. That
Well,
shit.
yeah, it was supposed to happen
Um,
with like Discovery Plus. Was it
with
Discovery?
Discovery, yeah, it was Discovery Plus, and Discovery Plus is a flop. So it's like, why would they even like think of that?
Yeah, it was Warner Brothers and Discovery.
Yeah, that
And for some reason they wanted to merge it with Discovery and they wanted to put it on Discovery Plus as opposed to the other way around.
and it was gonna be like its own section, but I think that
Yeah.
like belittles it.
Yeah,
You know what I
and
mean? Because
because
you know
no
like
one
half the
and
shit's gonna be
everyone,
gone.
yeah, and everyone was like, no one is using Discovery Plus. People use HBO Max. If you're gonna merge them, you
Most
might as
people
well.
use HBO Max. Like I
Yeah,
talk to people and that's what they use mostly. So it's
exactly.
like, I don't know.
Are there any movies that you're like excited for?
Probably the Barbie movie.
I was just thinking about that.
Yeah, I'm really hyped
Pretty
for
hyped
that
for
one.
that.
That's the
I was
reason I'm keeping my job right now, just so I can see it for free.
And I kind of want to see Oppenheimer too, because I find it so funny that they come out on the same day.
What's that one about?
It's about Oppenheimer,
Yeah. Oh.
the scientist that created the atom bomb.
Oh, that guy. Yeah,
Yeah,
I know
Cillian
him.
Murphy's in it.
Yeah,
You know, Cillian Murphy received his first BAFTA nomination for the last season of Peaky Blinders.
for the last season.
Yeah, like the most recent season.
Hmm.
I find that so hard to believe that that was the first time he was nominated.
But he wasn't nominated for any of the other seasons.
He wasn't nominated for like anything else. It was like
Anything
his
he's been in.
first,
No, that
like,
actually is weird.
it's because he's Irish, isn't it? British acting, British Academy of Film and Television. We get
Jeez.
it. Um,
What is it? Bo is Afraid?
oh yeah, I saw
I'm
that.
excited for
Looks
that
like
one
a
too. That
freaking
one's coming out
crazy
soon, right?
movie.
Is
Yeah.
that one coming?
I'm trying to think of what else is
Oh, that one
coming
comes out
out.
next month.
Oh wow, that's
Like
soon.
less than a month from now it comes out. I cannot wait for that because it's by the same person who made Midsummer and
Yeah.
Frozen. So, and
And
those are
Joaquin
two of my
Phoenix is in it.
I know, that's crazy.
I kind of want to see the new John Wick movie.
Yeah, that's coming out like now.
Yeah, it's coming out soon. Theaters
No, it comes
tomorrow.
out, yeah, tomorrow. I'm not excited though, because tomorrow I'm literally gonna be so busy.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be crazy.
No, literally, I'm mentally not prepared. And
I'm
if I
trying to
call out,
look.
I'm fired. So, oop. But no, I might want to see that. I need to catch up because I think the first and the second one.
Yeah, I think I've seen a couple of the Outlander is still going on. Do you know that show, Outlander?
No, I haven't watched
It's
that
a
one.
it's I like it. It's a really like it's a steamy romance, but it's also like historical
Oh, I love a
fiction.
romance though.
It's really good. I like it. So basically it's like this nurse doctor lady. She's like a nurse in World War II, and she ends up like marrying this guy, like her husband, at like a courthouse because the war is going on, and they end up having like a honeymoon in the Highlands of Scotland, and they there's this like special kind of I don't want to say ritual, but like it was like a like a local tradition basically that like all these ladies of the town like they did this kind of demonstration by these like rocks called Cragnadoon or something like that. And it's like all about magic and time traveling, and
Oh.
so they kind of like charge the rocks with like this energy. And she goes to explore like the plants near the rocks because she is like
Oh, does she get like
interested.
sucked into the
Yeah, so she's like
portal?
so she's like interested in like plants and their medicinal uses and stuff like that. So she was like trying to get a better look at the plants near the rocks, and she ends up touching the rocks, and it like sends her back in time to like the 1760s during the Jacobite Revolution in Scotland, which was when
Oh.
these like Scottish Highlanders were like trying to fight against the English throne succession, um trying to get like their guy on the throne and stuff like that. So yeah, so she goes back in time to that time, and
Wait, and what time was she in
she
originally?
was in the 40s. So it was like right
Okay.
after World War II happened, so it was like mid to late 40s. And another reason why they were in Scotland is because her husband was trying to trace his like ancestry.
Oh, so
And
technically she's gonna find his ancestry
yeah,
through
so
that.
she's gonna find his, so the whole thing is that she ends up like meeting his ancestor that he's like researching, who's this like nasty, brutish
I
man.
was gonna ask if he was like hot and she falls in love with him instead.
No. So he's this like nasty man, and he's this horrible, he's like an English redcoat, and he's like brutal with the native Scots. And like um she meets him, and she ends up meeting like a very sexy redheaded Scottish Highlander man, clansman. And it's like it's a really fun show. If you watch it, let me know, because I've been
Yeah,
meaning
what
to
is
get
it
back to it.
on?
I think it's I last time I checked it was on Netflix.
Okay, I might check it
So
out.
yeah, it's fun. I mean, there's a lot of like um crazy shit that happens. It's on its seventh season, so there's a lot going on in there. Um but
I was
it
watching this show today called Swarm. It's
oh, I've
Donald
heard about
Glover's
that.
new show. Pretty
Been
good.
on the
I watched
fence
the
about starting it.
Yeah, you should. Honestly, I finished it all today. Like I started it today just like to watch and eat a snack too because I needed something to watch. And
Mhm.
because I've been watching The Sopranos, but I took a little break and
I
then I
need to
need
get
like
back to
other
that.
things to watch. That's how I feel, but then I've been
My
finding other
culture.
things and I'm like, both facts.
The
Literally.
Sopranos is my culture though.
Yeah.
It
No,
literally takes
literally.
place in
No,
New Jersey.
literally. No, because when they talk about certain things, I'm like, I went there with Dana.
Yeah. Part of the opening sequence is like the road on the way to my grandmother's house.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's like really funny.
No, it's cool though. I really do like that show, but like
Hmm.
I have such a bad habit with finishing shows. Like
No, I
I
get
never
you.
get to
I've
it.
been I've been watching the CW's The 100 for like ages. I used to watch
Oh.
it when it originally aired, and it's like my guilty pleasure trashy show.
Yeah.
Um and
Is that
uh
the one where it starts off with like this girl and she's like, hmm.
so okay, so it's like
Maybe I'm wrong. Like
so
she's got powers and she's like
uh,
fidgety.
no. I
Oh,
think
that's a different show.
yeah, it is a different show.
Okay.
So basically The 100 is like
Is it
what
about
happened.
like people with powers though?
No.
Oh yeah, that's
It's
definitely not.
like nuclear war like killed the earth basically. So the human population all fled to space
Okay,
to
so
try to like
it takes
yeah,
place in space.
partially.
Partially.
It yeah, so it's so they fled to space, and they were basically waiting until the earth like healed itself and like
Hmm.
no longer was like radioactive and like all that kind of stuff, so that it was like safe to go down. And so what happens is that like the space station that they're all living on, like um uh they send the reason why it's called the 100 is because they send 100 of these like teenagers down because they're basically like prisoners. They're like
Okay.
convicts, so they're
So they
criminals.
send them to Earth to check it out.
Yeah, so they're all kids that got arrested, but their policy is that they can't execute them until they turn 18. So it's all
Oh.
these like 16, 17, and like almost 18 year
Okay, but
olds.
if they die from the radiation, it's not their fault.
Yeah, so they send the kids down because they don't really care about them and they're like criminals, but they're using them as guinea pigs to see if the
Yeah.
Earth is inhabitable because the space station is like dying and it's dying a lot sooner than they anticipated. Because at that point in the show where it takes place, it's like almost 100 years since the nuclear warfare. So they go down and it's about the human population returning to Earth and like
It's kind of
um
interesting. It's like Wally.
it is pretty interesting. I do
I'm sorry.
I no, you're kind of right in a
No, it's
way.
like
It's like kind
Wally.
of yeah, it's like kind of interesting. But I do okay. So it's all about like politics and civilization and like
Yeah.
morality and like mob mentality and totalitarianism and it touches on all these crazy things, but it's also about like 17 and 18-year olds being 17 and 18-year olds, you
Okay.
know,
So
like
there's a little bit of
petty
fun in there.
drama and like
Yeah.
romance and like all that
So
kind of
there's a lot of
stuff.
drama. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's also like
It's juicy.
yeah, so it's like there's romance drama and there's like interpersonal relationship drama, but then there's also political drama. And then it's also because like the 16 and 17 and 18-year olds are the ones like kind of like running things or know what, you know how things are supposed to be handled. And like the adults are oftentimes having to like trust them. And it's all about like the adults kind of sidelining them and then things going bad and the
Oh.
kids like warning them of things. And it's really interesting. I mean, it's not a perfect show by far and it's not even a good show but it is interesting and it is like fascinating and entertaining. I do have to say I did enjoy the earlier seasons a little more than like the later seasons, but I think it's because the later seasons get more like serious and like more political and like
Oh.
that kind of stuff. And then it also enters it's really interesting. They touch on all sorts of things. Like at the point that I'm in, they're kind of touching on like religious cults in a way because there's this
Oh.
whole like subplot and there's like three different plots happening at the same time, which is
Okay.
really fascinating. That's an I mean, I would suggest I think you would enjoy it. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
might start it.
I might get back to it to be honest. It's like I watch it when I have nothing else to watch and I want to watch something and like I don't want to watch YouTube, you know, because I
Right.
usually watch YouTube a lot. But oh, did you hear about that new movie that Anne Hathaway is going to be in?
Yeah. The
What
A24
was
one, it's about her being a pop star and then
yes, yes. Oh,
what's her
who
name?
was
Oh my God.
oh my God,
She's from
who's
that
that
one show.
actress?
She's one of my favorite actresses too, so I hate
Yes,
that I'm
she's so
blanking.
good and she's
Because she's from that one,
stunning.
what was that one show that she was in on HBO Max? It was so traumatic.
Oh,
You know what I'm talking about?
I think so.
Oh my God, it made me cry so much.
Was it no, it wasn't called Chewing Gum, was it?
She was in that. She was in that as
Yes.
well. That was, I
Was
think,
that
on
that what that
Netflix.
show? Yeah.
But that might have been on HBO too. I didn't watch that
Oh.
one, but she was in this other one, and it was like,
I think
oh,
she was in Black Mirror too.
she was she might have been.
There
Yeah,
was
she
like
was
an
in a lot
episode that was like Star Trek inspired and I remember like a
Oh, you know what?
picture of
I
her.
skipped that episode because I was
Oh,
like,
I
I'm
never
good.
got to that episode.
Well, it
But
had this one
yeah.
actor I don't like in it, so I was like,
Oh.
skip. Um, no, she's so good though. What's her
But
name?
yeah, I'm really excited for that one.
I think her name starts
Um
with an N.
oh, I forget her name. I'm
I
trying to
don't want to.
find like a tweet about it. Just a moment of silence.
No,
I'm
but
trying to
yeah,
I know I saw like a tweet not that long ago about it. Oh, here it is. Okay.
yeah,
Michaela Cole.
Michaela. Yeah, I was like, I know it's Michaela.
It's
I don't know if
called
you heard me go.
Mother Mary. It is an epic pop melodrama following a fictional musician who is Anne Hathaway and her relationship with an iconic fashion designer, Michaela Cole.
Yeah,
I think it's like a lesbian thing, which
yeah,
slay. They
it's gonna
really
be
like
good. A24
they
is like, did you see someone go? They just searched gay Twitter.
yes, I saw that tweet. That's literally what made me like
Yeah,
learn about that
but I
film.
mean, it sounds like it's gonna be good. I don't see how that could be
They're
bad.
both great actors.
Yeah. Although, I don't know, I like Anne Hathaway, but at the same time, I feel like she's like meh.
I mean, she's mother to me, so
Yeah, no, for me, I was never a fan of like the Princess Diaries and stuff like that.
see, that was very formative. The
Mm.
Princess Diaries, The Devil Wears Prada, and Ella Enchanted were like my top three
Oh
films
yeah,
ever
Ella
of all
Enchanted.
time.
Those were good.
I
I don't know, they
rewatched,
didn't have like a big effect on me like everyone else.
see, they were a big part of my upbringing because like my mom and I would watch movies like that whenever my dad and my brother would go on um like Boy Scout camping trips. So so we would like get TV dinners and watch them. And that was like our thing.
I
What the
think for
hell?
me, I feel like I was like I know me and you aren't very different in age, but I feel like Selena Gomez and Demi Lovato were those for me.
Well, they were for
Like
me
the
too.
oh, okay. But I feel like I was at the point where I would watch their movies over like the Princess Diaries or something. But that one didn't come on that much when I was like
Like Princess
watching.
Protection Program.
Yeah, oh God, I used to love that one.
Oh, I am also very interested in the movie Bottoms
Oh, I haven't heard of that one.
with Rachel Sennett and I feel so bad. I don't know how to say her name, but she's in The Bear. I don't want to say it wrong. I think it's Ayo Edebiri.
Oh,
She has a cool name. I like her name. But like I don't want to I feel bad because I don't think I
I don't
say
know
it
how to say
right.
anyone's names. That's why I'm always like, I don't
But
know. I
she's
don't know
from The
their name.
Bear
Yeah,
and
I love
she's
that
so
show.
good. Love her. And she's gonna be in this movie with Rachel Sennett and like there's a bunch of other people in it and it looks really funny.
Mm.
Um
Speaking of bears, did you watch Cocaine Bear?
no, but I want to
I want
so
to,
bad.
dude. I've been trying to get my boyfriend to watch it with me forever. I'm like, I can get us free tickets. We can go and see it. And he's like, yeah, let's go. And then he goes, I can't go. I don't feel good. And I'm like, every time. And then we hang out and do something else. And then I'm like, I think I'm gonna go because it's about to leave the theaters. I gotta go watch it by
Go by
myself.
yourself.
But I feel like it's one of those movies. It's like kind of like silly. Like you want to
Yeah,
watch
you
it with
kind of
like
want to see it with
someone
someone.
else. Like it's gonna be more fun. Maybe you
No,
know
I
what?
get you.
Tomorrow after well, I get off at 8 tomorrow. I was gonna say tomorrow after work, maybe I'll go watch it, but that's like late. I don't want to be at work until like late. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you. But I mean, I definitely think like seeing movies by yourself is
It's a sleigh.
fun. I like doing
No,
it.
I like doing it. I do that all the time now. But like I watched the Titanic at the movies recently in 3D. And that was a
In
sight to see.
3D.
And three, it was actually like really good. I haven't watched a 3D movie since I was like a child. But like
That's
I
really
think
funny.
I think actually Jurassic World, like the first one, that was the last time I watched a 3D movie. And I didn't even mean to see it in 3D. And I didn't have my like glasses on or contacts in, so I couldn't
Hmm.
actually see anything. Um, so this was like it was like a cool experience because like I guess that they've like fixed up the movie a lot, so it looks very like brand new.
Hmm.
And it was really fun to watch in 3D. I don't know.
I'm trying to
I
think of the
like the Titanic.
last what was the last 3D movie that I watched?
I'm not a fan of 3D movies though. I feel like just
Yeah,
watch it in
they
2D.
give me a headache
No,
sometimes.
for sure. And it's just like, okay, like, geez,
Yeah.
like who cares? There's only certain ones that should be in 3D. Like right now at my theater, we're only showing like the 3D version of Avatar 2, but I feel like that's a movie that should be in 3D because
Yeah.
it's like, I mean, it's animated and it's like,
It's like a spectacle.
yeah, it's more about the visuals, so I kind of get that. And I mean, Titanic was cool to see in 3D because the water was like coming at you, and it's one
Yeah.
of those that's like another visually kind of stunning movie.
Yeah. But
So
it's not really like you obviously don't need to
you don't
see
need to
it.
watch it. No,
Yeah.
no way. But it wasn't bad. It was nice. Yeah. But I wish I could like go to movies more. I feel like now that I work at a movie theater, it's like I don't feel like being there longer than I need to be.
Yeah.
So then I just don't end up going to the movies.
I haven't been to the movies in a minute. I think the last time I saw a movie in the movie theater might have been Everything Everywhere All at Once. Yeah,
That one's good
which
in the
was
theater.
oh yeah. Yeah.
It sucks that so many movies are like so much better in the theater, but the theater is too expensive. It's, like,
Yeah, and
unreasonable these
also,
days to
like
bring, like, an entire family, because I see people
yeah.
paying, like, over $100 just to see a movie, and I'm like to bring all their kids and stuff and get food. It's like, geez, that's so expensive.
No, literally, like and it's just and also, like, the whole thing with, like I don't know, like, it's just so much COVID really made it, like, really hard to enjoy going to the movies,
Yeah,
you
for
know?
sure. Because
'Cause
it's
it's
accessible,
like, I
and
don't really feel like it, you know? Like,
yeah, because you
and
could just watch it
people
online now too,
yeah, and
so it's
also,
like
like, people can, like, talk during the movie and, like, all that kinda
exactly.
stuff, and then it's just like, "Okay, well, I coulda just watched this at home."
Yeah.
I'd much rather just, like, wait for it
But
to
the thing
come.
that does suck though, a lot of movies are made to be played at the movie theater,
Exactly.
and so sometimes the quality when you watch it on, like, your laptop or your phone or something, it's
Yeah.
not gonna be as good as seeing it in the theater. If you ever notice, like, a lot of movies, like, you'll watch them at home and they're, like, really dark, like, and, like, a lot of the
Yeah.
dark scenes are really
The
it's because
coloring is, like, all
they're
off and
made to be on the
everything.
big screen.
Exactly.
And it's like, they need to stop making movies that way. I mean, it's an art, obviously, and you,
Yeah.
of course, wanna see it on a big screen,
But they
but I
are
feel like
very dark.
they should accommodate more to, like, the at-home experience because I feel like that's what the majority of people do these days, especially with, like, prices going up at the movie theater and all that shit. Yeah.
No, like, and movies these days are just so dark.
Yeah.
Like, just so dark. For
I can't
what
watch stuff
reason?
on, like, my TV because, like, I can't turn up the brightness or anything. Oh, I mean, I guess I could, but that's a lot more effort than, like, doing it on my laptop or something. So it's like, they are dark. Like, sometimes I can't see what's going on. I'm like, "Bro,
Yeah. Like, I'm, like, sitting
put
there,
the
like,
lights
turning
on."
my and then I turn my brightness all the way up, and then, like, I finish the movie, and then I turn it off, and then I'm, like, freaking blinded by everything else.
Yeah,
It's like, just turn a light on. Like, what the hell?
yeah.
Why do the movies have to be so dark?
Also, I wish more movies would be on film. No,
Yeah.
that's so I feel like
Well,
which do you
that's
think
one
is
of the
worse for the Earth? Actual film or, like, all the processors or whatever that's needed to, like, run, like, fucking computers?
well, I mean, neither are good.
Yeah,
But, like, honestly, all of that doesn't matter because, like, most of the earth killing shit that's happening is not, like, all due to, like, 5
it's not
people
gonna
with,
be
like,
due
a
to that.
gajillion dollars, you know?
Yeah.
It's all, like, corporations, you know
Oh,
what I
for
mean?
sure.
But,
100%.
like,
I feel like it's definitely not the arts.
no. I mean, they do contribute to, like,
Yeah,
that kinda stuff, like the fashion industry and all that kinda stuff. Like, yeah,
yeah.
it's not the most sustainable.
But there's also a side
Um,
to all those industries that actually do care and do wanna
yeah, and
put
honestly, if tomorrow they all turned around and became, like, 100% sustainable, there would still be issues because, like, 75% of the issues are coming from, like, big corporations and, like, fossil
exactly.
fuels and stuff like that. So it's like
And
yeah.
then everyone else is blamed for it.
Yeah, and then it's like, "Well, you didn't use a paper straw," and it's like, "Well, fuck me, I'm sorry."
I didn't want my straw to be
Maybe
soggy.
consult, like, Norfolk Southern or
Literally.
BP Oil. Hello?
They love blaming everything on the common person.
Yeah, like, my metal straw is not gonna be saving the fucking earth, okay?
Although I love a reusable straw.
Oh, me too.
It's just more beneficial for me just in
Yeah,
my everyday life.
and it's, like, easier, especially, like, when you go to, like, a coffee shop, and I know the coffee shop that I like to go to, they have, like, strawless lids, which I always prefer.
Yeah, me as well.
But if a place has, like, the straw lids, I like having, like, my own straw, you know?
Yeah. I
Especially, like, metal straws, like,
yeah,
they keep everything cold.
they are a sleigh. Yeah, but sometimes it's a little too cold.
Mhm. And then it, like, freezes your lips.
Yep.
Or sometimes I bring, like, my, the reusable plastic straws that I get from, like, the cups. I don't know if you can
Yeah,
see
yeah.
it.
That's what mostly I have.
Mhm.
Like my main water cup has a plastic straw that I reuse. And then this new cup that I have, it has like a straw built into it.
Yeah.
Nice.
I also like bringing my own cup to cafes, which I like that they do this thing where they give you a little bit of a discount when you do that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, like my local cafe that I like to go to, they were selling their own cups, and they had one of those like soda can shaped ones.
Oh, yeah, that's
And
what I have
so,
right here.
yeah, and so I got one. And when you bring in your own cup, it doesn't even have to be theirs. It could just be a reusable cup. When you
Mm,
bring it in, they like give you a discount.
because it's probably less that goes into it too,
Well,
but like
yeah.
that's
Well, I
cool.
mean, I think sometimes it's like more,
Oh,
you know?
slay.
But but yeah, they give you like a little bit of a discount to like, I guess, encourage people to bring their own cups. So sometimes I bring like I have like a glass mug, I have a glass jar one, and um I bring those. And it's just like it's
It's
easier.
nice.
Yeah. And it's like it's safer too because like it doesn't spill everywhere
Yeah, and
because
you
it's
know
more
its
closed.
limits too, I guess.
Yeah. Except all my cups are like glass, so I'm kind of
Oh,
playing with
be
fire a little bit.
careful.
Yeah, but
I
they're
I have to
cute.
stay away from glass. Every time I've had a glass cup, it's broken. My family's not
Yeah.
careful. I always put it on a table and I leave the room for like 5 seconds and it's on the
And it's
floor
like,
broken. And I'm
psh.
like,
Well, I mean, knock on wood, I haven't had any problems yet.
yay.
But yeah, we talked about way
We
too
talked
many
about a lot
things.
of stuff.
Yeah.
But the main topic was the movies. We love the
Yeah,
movies.
we do love the movies. I think they're
Yeah,
fun.
they are.
Um, and I've been really trying to get into my letterbox bag.
No, me too. I need
I
to put my last review
Yeah,
in.
I don't know how to like, don't people like log movies every time they see them, even if they already rated them?
Yeah.
I
Sometimes they do
don't,
a rewatch. It's called a rewatch.
yeah.
So yeah, they do that as well. Sorry, I was going on my letterbox.
No,
That's
you're
why I
good.
was blinking. What did
I
I
was
write
just like,
down?
I was like, how do you, how you do that? Oh, I didn't log
You can
3.7 stars on Catching Fire. That is the greatest film to ever happen. 5 stars. No, just kidding.
honestly, I give some crazy ass ratings. We're friends on Letterbox, right?
Are
I
we?
think we are. Let me see. Actually, no.
Oh my God.
OMG, what's your at? Well, let's do that off. Let's do that off camera.
Yeah, I don't want people to follow my
Here,
letterbox.
you can send it to my
I'll send it to you.
yeah. And we'll add each other on there. I need to
Yes.
put Triangle of Sadness on mine because I finished it yesterday. Because it took me like 3 days to watch because I'm a busy girl. What can I say? Let me put that on there. Anyways, I'll actually do that off camera. But yeah, thanks for watching and listening, you guys. It was
Yeah, thanks for
fun.
joining us again. And we know that there's two new albums coming out tomorrow. There's a new Depeche Mode album called Memento
Oh,
Mori, and then there's a new Lana
Lana
album
Del
called
Rey.
Don't You Know That There's a Tunnel Under Ocean Boulevard.
I'm
Um,
quite excited for that one. I think I'm gonna
I'm pretty
stay up
excited.
tonight to listen to it. So
I might do that too. So we'll touch on those next week or the Lana album only. It doesn't like whoever.
we'll see. Yeah.
I might listen to the Depeche Mode album because I've been trying to get into them more. But
Yeah, I might listen to it too because I have a few
yeah.
songs I like by them. So we'll see.
Yeah. And I've heard I've a lot of people I have a lot of Depeche Mode fans as friends. So I've seen a lot of good things already. They've already heard the album because they live in other countries. So yeah, very excited for those. We will touch on those next week. So it gives us the week to process that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Alrighty, guys. Thanks.
Stay safe. Go see
Stay
some
safe. Go
movies.
watch a movie.
And don't forget
Support
to log
your
them in your letterbox.
Yeah, support your local theater.
Yes, support your local cinemas.
Yes.
Get out of those AMCs.
Bye, AMC.
Bye.
Bye bye.